welcome back to It's Aisha. If you're new here, my name is Aisha and welcome to the first day of veganuary. So this is going to be day one. I'm going to try and upload a new video every single day this month for the people who are transitioning to veganism or just want to add more plant-based foods to their diet. This is going to be a great channel for you. And also this is more like a no judgment zone. So even if you aren't full vegan or you don't plan on ever becoming full vegan but still want to kind of explore the lifestyle, then you can come here, check out some recipes. You could always ask me questions in the comment section and I'll respond with no judgment whatsoever. I know that a lot of vegan YouTubers can be like, well, you either go all the way or you're doing it wrong, but that's not the kind of vegan I am. So I'm just here to help you guys in any way possible. So today, for the first day of veganuary, how do you say that? We're going to be doing something that I brought up before in my sushi video. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and click that. I'll have a card up there. It's one of my most viewed videos, and I think for good reason. The sushi is bomb. But I did mention if I got a lot of likes on the video, which I did, that I would make more of a mock crab mix, so you can use that to put in the sushi rolls. But I kind of did something different since we already have a sushi video. I don't want to do another one. Let's be honest, it's a lot of work to roll sushi. But I used to work at Japanese restaurants a lot. I think I worked at 2 for multiple years. And there was one dish that you can usually find, which are like the tempura stuffed mushrooms, and they are delicious. So I wanted to veganize that because I did miss them a lot. So I ended up doing that. These are going to be some tempura style stuffed mushrooms. They are delicious. If you like spice, there's going to be jalapenos in it, but you can totally omit it. They are optional. But so far, if you haven't clicked out of the video, let's go ahead and jump into the recipe. So we're going to start off getting a grater, just a regular cheese grater, and a package of sriracha or spicy tofu. There is a spicy garlic baked tofu. Oh, that's another note. It has to be baked tofu. But I really like the spicy garlic baked tofu from, I've seen it at Rayleigh's, but I think it's available at other retailers as well. But I'm going to be using the Trader Joe's sriracha baked tofu for this recipe just because it's really cheap. Like it's like only $2 or something, and it's really delicious. So we're going to grate that up just like a cheese block with both of these slices of baked tofu. And we're going to put the grater into the sink to get cleaned. And then we are going to toss this mock crab into a bowl. And once it's in the bowl, you're gonna add some vegan mayo. I personally really like just mayo, which I haven't seen in a while. I don't know where it's gone, but that's usually my favorite. And we're gonna add 2 to 4 tablespoons. The reason I have that number so vague is because some people just hate mayo, and I totally understand. Like you could do 2 tablespoons, but if you like mayo and you kind of like that creamy consistency, go ahead and add more tablespoons of the vegan mayo if you like. So we're gonna mix that up, and while we're getting the mushrooms ready, we're actually gonna toss this into the refrigerator, just kind of set up a little bit, and pull out a cutting board and 12 ounces of mushrooms. And we're going to be taking the stems out of the mushrooms, and the easiest way to do this that I found is twisting it, even though that didn't work out for me for the first mushroom. It's easier just to twist the stem and it will usually pop right out. So we're going to do that for all the mushrooms. And this isn't one of those recipes where you're going to save the stems for the filling, so you could go ahead and toss them or save them for a different recipe. So once we have all the caps ready, we're going to take out some vegan cream cheese and our crab mix. I'm just using the vegan cream cheese from Trader Joe's. It's very good. But we're just going to add a dab of this vegan cream cheese into the bottom as the base. And then we're going to add the crab mix on top of the dab of cream cheese. And then you're going to want some sliced jalapenos. I used some serrano peppers, and you're going to top one of the peppers onto the mix, like so. You can barely see, I'm sorry, but you'll see the idea. Yeah, so we have the jalapeno pepper on top. And we were just gonna repeat that for all these mushrooms. So let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. This is a fun recipe to do if you have kids, to do it with your kids or your siblings. It's pretty easy to do. And when you do things with your hands like this, it's pretty fun to incorporate other people to do it. And low-key, if you don't want to add the tempura, you could totally bake these for a little bit in the oven and they will still be very good. But of course, I wanted to recreate these stuffed mushrooms that I had at the old sushi restaurant I was working at. So we're gonna make a tempura mix first. So we're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of sifted flour. And sifting it is just an easy way to make sure there's no clumps in the flour. I always like to do this whenever I'm baking or using flour. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the cornstarch, or I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of cornstarch and sift that real quick. Then we're gonna add about a teaspoon of white pepper. Black pepper works fine too if you don't have any. And about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic salt. And we're just going to whisk that together, just to incorporate everything, have everyone get incorporated with each other, Get everyone mingled in the bowl before we add our wet ingredients. Or should I say just wet ingredient, there's gonna only be one. But first, before we make the tempura, we're going to toss the mushrooms in the dry mixture first, just to make sure the batter sticks to it a little bit better. We're just gonna do that with all the mushrooms. And I personally like to coat the mushrooms by the stove, just so it's easier to just plop them in after you coat them. So I'm just gonna set those mushrooms aside for now while I add my wet ingredient. Then we're gonna add 3/4 cups of this fizzy water. This one happens to be coconut, but it was totally optional. You couldn't really taste the flavoring in the tempura, so it doesn't really matter. It's just what I had on hand. And then we're gonna bring this over to our frying station on the stove. And bam, we're at the stove. So fill a pot with some oil, get it ready. I'm honestly not sure how hot you're supposed to make it. I don't usually measure the temperature, but I put it at like a medium heat. You don't want it too high or else they're gonna get a little too dark. As you can see, I tossed the mushroom into the batter, and then I'm just gonna plop that into my little makeshift fryer. Making sure it's hot enough and watch it boil. Go ahead and do it in batches. You don't want to just toss them all in at the same time because they can't stick and they'll ruin the breading. So I think I did like 4 or 5 at a time. So you end up doing about 3 batches. Okay, so once we're done frying them, put them on a paper towel to drain a little bit. And this is what the final product looks like. It is delicious. I did make a sauce to put over it, which I find kind of essential. It's equal parts hoisin sauce and sweet chili sauce. Pretty easy to make and really good. And then I topped it with more of those sliced chilies. And here's a picture of what the inside looks like. They're all, it kind of just looks like a white hot mess, but believe me when I say these are awesome. You could also make like a sushi bowl, which I've done a lot with this crab mix, and it's really good. This has some sauteed mushrooms, bell peppers, and rice underneath. If you guys end up trying this recipe, please leave a comment down below. Tag me on Instagram at @RaRit'sAisha, and I'd love to see your guys' creations. If you have any recommendations of what you would like to see this month or any future videos, also leave another comment down below. On a side note, I know this isn't the normal setup that I usually use. My family is in town, so they're kind of using my filming room to play video games. But I'm kind of digging the setup. It feels a little bit more intimate, and I'm really excited to be back. I'll probably have a vlog style, what was I doing with my hands? Probably gonna have a vlog style video one of these days to kind of update you why I've been gone, what's been going on in my life, because a lot of things have kind of changed and there's going to be even more changes in the upcoming month. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. But for the time being, Happy New Year's, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!